One second, she was cleaning hotel rooms. The next, she was riding in a luxury car to school. As the car rolled onto campus, it immediately drew envious stares. Some students even whipped out their phones to take pictures. Even the security guard at the gate couldn't help but steal a second glance. When she stepped out of the car, the campus queen, a rich heiress herself, took off her glasses and stared straight at the girl, clearly intrigued by this mysterious rich girl. Her name was Sarah. She was actually born into a wealthy family, but when she was 8, her father went bankrupt and mysteriously disappeared. Her family's fortune crumbled overnight. Since then, Sarah had no choice but to work part-time at a hotel to pay for her education. Today, while cleaning a room, she accidentally found a backpack left behind by a wealthy guest. When the driver came to retrieve it, Sarah insisted that, per hotel policy, he needed to provide the guest's ID to claim it. The driver, however, was not having it. He got aggressive, and the two started arguing. Luckily, the hotel owner stepped in just in time. After understanding the situation, he first apologized to Sarah and then showed his own ID for verification. Once the ID was confirmed, Sarah tossed the backpack to the driver and told them to step aside. She was running late for school. Hearing this, the wealthy guest quickly told his driver to start the car. Just as Sarah was about to leave, the man stopped her. To show his gratitude, he insisted that his driver take her to school. But as soon as she stepped outside and saw the luxury car, she hesitated. The driver opened the door and gestured for her to get in. Sarah hesitated, then said, "I think I'll just walk." The driver, however, replied, "If you don't get in, I'll lose my job." With no other choice, Sarah climbed into the car. As the vehicle glided through the city, she gazed out the window, a soft smile creeping onto her lips. When they arrived at the university, Sarah asked the driver to drop her off somewhere discreet, but he pretended not to hear her. Instead, he pulled up right in the middle of the busiest part of campus, locked the doors, and then got out to personally open hers. She was just a hotel waitress, yet she arrived at an elite school in a luxury car. The moment she stepped out, she became the target of envy from the wealthy girls. Driven by curiosity, the school's queen bee, along with her entourage, strutted toward the mysterious rich girl with an air of superiority. They followed her into a restaurant, glanced around at the surroundings, and sneered. It baffled them. Why would someone who arrived in a luxury car choose to dine in such a cheap place? Was she just keeping a low profile, or was there another reason behind it? At that moment, one of the girls recognized Sarah. The trio shamelessly approached her, eager to befriend this mysterious heiress. The blonde girl wasted no time introducing herself enthusiastically, even suggesting they exchange social media accounts. But Sarah simply replied, "I don't use social media." The trio exchanged knowing glances before bursting into laughter. The queen bee smirked. "Even my grandma has social media." Feeling slightly awkward, Sarah clarified, "I do have one, but I don't use it often." Then, she casually pulled out a piece of bread from her backpack. "Do you want some?" she asked. The blonde girl wrinkled her nose in disgust. The queen bee added sarcastically, "You actually bring your own food?" Sarah responded calmly, "This is from the Marriott." What they didn't know was that Sarah worked part-time at the hotel and had a great relationship with the chefs. Every morning, the chef would prepare fresh bread for her. At that moment, the blonde girl pulled out an invitation to a charity gala and invited Sarah to join them. Sarah glanced at the ticket, remembering she had to work at the hotel that night. She politely declined, saying, "All my resources go to street animals." The girls asked, "What are street stray animals?" "Just 2 dogs." Seeing how indifferent Sarah was, the trio lost interest and said their goodbyes. But just then, the real heir arrived at the school. The moment he stepped out of his car, heads turned. Admiring gazes followed him as he walked. His father founded this a school. The moment he entered the classroom, Queen Bee faked a stumble and used the opportunity to grab his arm. Watching this shameless display, a girl was fuming. Even the sidekicks were in awe, but Queen Bee remained unfazed. She waved them off and turned her attention back to the heir.